Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and in this video, this will be the last video I'm going to do on Java before I go into Spring, the Spring framework. But this is just to kind of help lay down some fundamentals of the Java language before we do that. Okay, so basically this is the same file we've been working on for a while. What I want to do is get into classes as far as creating objects. So I'm going to create a new class. We're going to call it dog, just to kind of understand object-oriented programming. So we're going to create a dog class. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to say that dogs have certain properties. Okay, so what we need to do is create a constructor to define those properties. And a constructor is just a function. So we'll just say public void that has the same name as the okay, and actually it's not public void, just public dog, because technically it's returning itself. It's returning a dog object. So public dog, and what I want there is for us to be delivered a name and a integer that is going to be the age of the dog. Okay, so those are going to be the two parameters that get passed into this constructor. And again, you know it's a constructor because it has the same name as the class. So that means this function will get run when the class is created. And all this does is create two properties. Okay, and basically what's going to happen is this dog, when this function gets run, this dot name is going to equal name, and this dot age equals age. Although I have to define those properties to begin with. So let me just do that. So we're going to say we have a string that's called name and a int that is age, and basically every dog has these properties, and we're going to define these properties in this function called the constructor. And then we will create a method for it. So we'll say public void returns nothing, bark. Okay, and all this does is just, we're going to say print dot line bark. Okay, so let's go back to our main program here. And what we're going to do is we're going to create once you create a class, you have to instantiate, meaning you have to create an instance of that class. So we're going to create var, meaning a new variable. We're going to call the dog Sparky, which is going to equal a new dog with the name of Sparky, who is 5. Okay. Now let's see what happens when we try to use Sparky. So let's say print dot line. Okay, we want to print out Sparky dot name, and then we also want to bark, semicolon. Okay, Sparky. So see, I'm using it on Sparky. Sparky's barking. So every dog is an individual instance of things. Let me just put a semicolon there. Let's run the code, see if it all works. Okay, print line bark. I forgot a semicolon. And you see, we saw the name of the dog, Sparky. So I forgot the Y here. And it barked. Cool. So we created a dog. That's all a class does. It allows you to create an object that you can create as many as you want of, with different properties and methods. Neat. Now if I wanted to create, but sometimes you don't want to have to recreate all of dog because you want to make a small dog, let's say. So if I wanted to do that, I could do this. Class small dog extends dog, which means it inherits from dog. So everything dog has, small dog has. But what I want to do is I'm going to override, meaning I'm going to replace the function of bark. So I can do public void bark. Okay, bark, and then we'll redefine this. And basically what's going to happen, it's going to print dot line and go yip yap. So the dog's going to yip yap. So now if I were to change this, instead of creating a dog, we created a small dog named Sparky5. Notice I never had to define the whole, like, the properties or the constructor, because it's just going to use the one from dog. Okay, but when it does the bark, it's going to use the one in small dog, because that overrides the one in the class. Will override anything in the base class if it exists. So in this case, void bark, I forgot some semicolons. Okay, there we go. Oh, let's see here. Class, oh, it's misspelled class. There we go. Small dog. Bar, new small dog. Okay. Okay, what I need to do is invoke, I need to create a constructor. So small dog. So I need to create public small dog. Okay, which takes in the string of name and the int of age. And then it has to pass it into the parent constructor, which would be super, referring to the parent. And then the parent constructor takes into properties, so it would just be name and age. There we go. There we go, that all looks nice. Let's run this. Okay, and I forgot a semicolon somewhere, right there. And there you go. See, now Sparky goes yip yap. So when you inherit, again, it's pulling from this class first. When it doesn't find what it's looking for in this class, it then goes to the parent class, and so forth and so forth. But yeah, that's the basics of classes. So now you have an idea how you create like an object in Java. I'll see you guys in the next video.